Hi, everyone. I'm Roberta Gonzales, and I'm here today with,
Travis Scott.
yes, Executive Director of Visit Mendocino County. And this is our monthly podcast. This is actually the 10th one we've done. Can you believe that, Travis?
It's hard to believe that we've done 10. What a fun time we've had with all of these episodes.
And we could do millions because there's so much to explore in and
Never ending.
around Mendocino County, right?
Yes.
So this episode's about some places that I found so exciting and so fun, but off the beat, I would say, right?
Right. So we're going to hang out today for our first two stops down in Gualala, which is on the south coast of Mendocino near the Sonoma County line. And it's kind of in this little banana belt. Doesn't get as much fog. It's a little bit warmer than the rest of the coast of Mendocino County. And we're going to visit some beautiful places today.
I wanted to let everyone know the reason why we're not together right now introducing this, because usually we do around our beautiful round table with a bottle of wine, is I'm on the injured reserve list right now. And it's another reason why I'm wearing a hat, because I can't do my hair. But hopefully in another week, this will be gone. But you can still be on your way to visit these wonderful locations. I have to tell you, Travis, Mar Vista really resonated with my heart because I love to garden.
Uh-huh.
And when I got there and I met Christopher and Deanna Betcher, the owners of the establishment, they have all these individual beautiful cottages that they've renovated, right?
Right.
And you wake up and you have eggs on your porch from their local chickens, the chickens right there that they
Right
raise.
there. Yeah. No, it's such a cool place. It's originally an old fishing camp. And they have, there's been several owners, but Christopher and Deanna are the most recent owners. And they've done some really great renovations and brought it back to life, to this beautiful place.
Yes.
And it's such a stunning setting. I mean, besides the farm aspect with the chickens and the gardens, it's set right on the bluffs. Basically, there's Highway 1 separating you and the ocean from their property. It's just such a spectacular location. And I love that they don't have any electronics on site, so no TVs or anything like that. And it really kind of pushes you to be in front of the fireplace instead of in front of a computer screen and having conversations with your friends and family. It's just such a cool feeling.
So we've set the tone, we set the mood. So let's head there now to Mar Vista. It's time for another edition of Room to Roam, Visit Mendocino County. Okay, so we have been all over this wonderful county. Now we're in a place that I want us to all to say together, okay? 1, 2, 3. Gualala.
Gualala, sorry.
Okay, let's try this again. We're all in Gualala.
Gualala.
Every time I look at its spelling, I don't know how to say it. But anyway, that's why I have Christopher Betcher here with me, otherwise known as Cab. Yes, like a good fine wine. And we have Deanna here as well. And they're married, so they can sit a little bit closer together. But how did you end up in Gualala?
Well, I have a long history in hospitality, and we were looking for an inn in late 2019 and went on an adventure together, and here we are. We found it in early 2020, just before the pandemic.
And where are we?
This is Vista Farm Cottages. Thanks, yeah.
Yes.
In Gualala.
And every time I look at you guys go like this, I want Gualala.
Gualala.
But, that was really interesting. You said late 2019. So what happened March of 2020?
Well, we had just got into contract to purchase the property in February, late February, early March. Mm-hmm. And then a week later, the pandemic hit. So long story short, 36 banks, 3 brokers, and a couple attorneys later, we finally moved in December. It took a little while longer.
And you stayed together during that time. That's what's so
Yes,
amazing.
it is amazing.
We said if we got through that, we can get through anything operationally here.
You can get through anything. And so how has business been for you during COVID? And, well, you did have to shut down for a while.
Yes.
But now that we want to say we're on the other side of COVID, but we're not really yet. But things are okay.
Things are okay. And, we're socially distanced by design anyway. The cottages are spread out over 9 acres. So it's been very popular, and we've been very busy.
What has been your biggest surprise, enlightening moment since you have taken over a cottage and a farm?
Enlightening moment. I think for us, it really is such a dream come true. I mean, we, like he said, the long journey to get here, but it was something that we it was a dream for us. So by the time we got here, and we were so grateful, I think the enlightening moment is every time I'm delivering eggs to the cottages, there's a spot right by Cottage 9 where I stop and I see the beautiful ocean view. And I just have to like stop, and it just takes my breath away. And I don't think that's ever going to get old.
Because you're from New York?
Originally, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Native.
And Cab and I didn't know each other from Chicago, but he remembers me working at WMAQ. We have similar experiences, except I think you were a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Because you're North Side.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I was more of a White Sox fan.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, stop. Okay, but so you both end up here in California as a dream come true from hospitality, working in hospitality, but you
Right.
also had a lot of major hotel experience.
Right.
And now you have these cottages that are just so quaint and charming. And tell me, okay, those baskets hanging outside each door, what do those represent?
Deanna.
Those
that's her
represent
area.
our egg delivery. Every day at 5 p.m. we gather the eggs from all of our chickens, and we deliver them to all the cottages so that they have fresh eggs that they can cook in their kitchens for breakfast the next morning.
So a girl from New York is delivering eggs every day to cottages and Gualala. And I mean, how did you ever dream that big?
Yeah, I mean, I still have family that says, I still can't believe you're in a farm.
Right?
You're a city girl.
And this really is a farm. You see all the chickens, and aren't chickens kind of funny?
Very
Oh
funny.
Don't
gosh,
they
they're
have
so funny.
Hilarious.
Funny character?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, really?
I mean, they're quirky, they're noisy, they're not cuddly like a domesticated animal. They're smart, but in ways that you don't realize. Yeah, they're very interesting.
They're hilarious.
And then not only do you have the chickens here, but this amazing garden. Now, who did all the building of the garden?
Well, Deanna tends it daily. She's our master gardener on property here, but our predecessors really set the template for our Vista Farm Cottages. They turned what were fishing cabins into cottages, and they built the foundation of all the gardens and the animals. We have 3 goats, too. We have Charlie the bunny, and then we have some little kittens around as well.
Oh my goodness. It really is truly my dream come true as far as a garden is concerned. And I saw over to the side of you there, Cab, you have a shishito plant.
Oh, yeah,
growing.
look at those
And you know,
babies.
1 in every 10 is hot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how do you do them? Do you grill them and then put them in olive oil and some sea salt?
Yeah,
And just use them as
either
an
that
appetizer?
or in our, we have cast iron skillets in all the cottages too. Little olive oil and cast iron skillet.
One of the most fabulous things is that I would love if I was staying in one of your socially distanced cottages that came naturally, is that you allowed the guests to come out here and pick whatever they want.
That's right. So we have a system, it's very easy. Everything is labeled what it is. It's marked green if it's ready and red if it's not. So green means go and red means no.
And that's good. And then you label what everything is as well.
Correct. Everything's labeled. Every cottage has a harvest basket, and so the guest just has to bring their harvest basket into the garden. They have shears in there and hand sanitizer, and then they can go and they can harvest to complement their meals.
So with the fresh eggs delivered by the girl from New York, and then the vegetables that you can go and curate yourself, cut yourself, I can make a heck of a frittata
Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can.
in the
Yeah.
morning. Yeah, in my cottage
Yes.
There you
here
go.
in Gualala.
And then we sell bacon in our mercantile, so you can top it off with
You
that
really
too.
do?
Yes, we
You
do.
sell
We
some
do.
bacon?
Yeah.
How about
Yes.
me some potatoes?
In the garden.
We do have potatoes
You've got
in the
some
garden.
potatoes
Yeah.
in the garden as well. What has been the most enchanting thing for you, Cab, coming here to California, to Gualala in Mendocino County, overlooking the ocean every day when you're not fogged in, even when you are fogged in?
Oh, well, you know, I come from the hospitality field, so it's all about making people happy. And I love doing events, and this room is actually originally designed to do little parties like weddings and things. So we use it for a greenhouse mostly this time of year, but we're just dying to do some fun events and have some people come out and just have a great time.
I could tell you from hospitality and want to make people happy because every
Yeah.
time somebody comes up this road, because it is time for check-in, you're like looking
Alert.
around and jumping and ready to go. You're ready to go and check them in and have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the flowers also from the garden,
Yes.
right?
Garden.
Yes, and guests are also welcome to cut flowers to make arrangements in their cottages too.
What can people find here in Gualala that they can't find anywhere else besides Mar Vista? cottages?
In Gualala, well, some beautiful beaches, especially the beach that we have private access to, which is Fish Rock Beach. That's
Yeah.
included when you stay here as well.
It's called Fish Rock.
Fish Rock Beach, yeah.
Okay. How cold
Yeah.
is the water?
It's pretty cold. Wetsuit.
Wetsuit. Yeah, so
Although the kids go in, they don't need a wetsuit. They love it.
they don't care. So you have your own private beach here, and then you have visiting communities that they can visit.
Oh
travel
yes.
to.
Oh yes. Point
That's
Arena's
correct.
close by. Gualala's very close. So
We
a
have-
lot of real great access to restaurants and good shopping and things too. But it's
Kayaking.
but it's a private access path to a public beach.
But when people are here in Gualala, they can't go to Point Arena. They can visit the lighthouse, which I find
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Very
That's right.
cool.
The Lighthouse,
Very cool.
B. Bryan Preserve. They can visit the wonderful Franny's and Bird Cafe in Point Arena. And then in Gualala, you have,
Surf market and
right.
Yeah, just the list goes on.
So there's the kayaking on the Gualala River, and then of course there's horseback riding, which a guest just came back from.
Oh,
which
really?
is
horseback riding
elk.
on the beach.
On
That's
the
pretty
beach.
cool, right?
Horseback riding on the beach.
Isn't that awesome?
Well, horses don't like me, but that's okay. No, it's just, I don't know. I can't kick them. You know, like going giddy up, horse. I can't do that. So
No.
I
it
can't
knows
either.
I'm not in control.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So it takes advantage of me. It really
It's a big
does.
animal,
And just
yeah.
takes off, right? You too? So
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
I do.
about.
I do.
Yeah, and they say, well, pull on it. And it's like, I can't do that to the horse.
But really, there's so many beaches within 10 miles, and between 1 mile, 2 miles, up to 10 miles north and south of us. Public access, all public access. Great trails, lots of trails, and
Incredible
beautiful.
cliffs too, and
Scenery.
Scenery. Yeah.
This is what I have found post-COVID, or as we're trying to slip out of COVID, is that people are going outside more now, and they're taking nature back in again. I see families around campfires instead of the kids, on the video
Right.
games and
Yes.
stuff, and that's really cool. So people can come up here for a weekend or a long weekend or a little retreat,
Yeah,
vacation.
Absolutely.
So from the Bay Area, how long does it take to get here?
2.5,
About 3
3
hours.
Yeah.
2-3 hours? Because
Depending on where you are.
it's not a lot of mileage. It's the winding.
That's right.
Exactly.
And so be ready to enjoy it. That's all you
There
can
you
do
go.
is to tell
Yes.
people it's a windy road, but you enjoy it.
Take
You
a
see so
break,
much.
enjoy
Yes.
the view. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful view that it makes up for the windiness.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there
Yeah,
yet? No.
yeah.
No, it's so gorgeous. But thank you so much. I really could spend more time here. But if you could just leave them with one last message about Mar Vista and the cottages and the farm here, what would that be?
Come here for wellness. It's all about nature and being outside and really fulfilling the thing that we all need and sometimes don't know it.
I love that. Wellness and room to roam. Visit Mendocino County. We thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Roberta.
Oh, thank
Thanks for
you.
having
me. Great to
I
see you
really
again.
appreciate it. I do. And I want to take your whole garden home with me. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks.
Rolling hills and vineyard valleys, redwood forests, and a stunning coastline. Mendocino County features wineries, breweries, restaurants, and lovely places to stay. For a breath of fresh air and room to roam, visit Mendocino County.
Christopher and Deanna Betcher, the best hosts ever. And when we got there, it was actually Christopher's birthday. So we had a nice birthday cake surprise for him. And it was just lovely, beautiful day. As you say, it's not as foggy there. And I would stay there any day of the week.
I know, it's such an awesome spot. And when you're down there, that's not the only thing. You're not stuck in Gualala at Mar Vista. There's so much more to do down in Gualala. And so I think we should head on to our next spot, which is going to be the Gualala Arts Center.
And again, I don't think a lot of people from the Bay Area are really familiar with this part of Mendocino County, Gualala. And when I went to the art center, I was blown away by the local artists, but especially the executive director.
Yeah, no, it's such a cool place. And it's not, it's such a community center as well as an art center. I mean, they do art exhibits, workshops, classes, music performances, theaters, all kinds of different programs are going on all the time. Not to mention
for kids too.
for kids as well, right? And not to mention, like, just viewing the architecture of the place. It's a really stunning building in a beautiful location.
So the executive director is David Susalla, but we call him Zeus because that's what he goes by, Zeus.
Yep.
And he had a lot to say. Let's give it a listen. It's been so amazing because Mendocino County, while it is a big county, it's filled with so many warm people, tender people, people filled with kindness, no matter if we're inland in Ukiah or we're along the coast. And Gualala, which we are now with David Sus. And David, can you explain Sus for me?
Oh, you bet I sure can. Welcome and thank you for having me on here. And welcome to the Gualala Arts Center, tucked in on the corner of Mendocino County, all the way in the south end, right on the ocean.
How far are we from the Golden Gate Bridge?
Well, we are about 2.5 hours for locals, and I usually tell the tourists that come up, and first timers allow for 3 or 3.5.
Because it's such a windy drive, but it's a beautiful drive along the
There's
coast.
lots of places to pull over. You know, one of my favorite spaces to come over is go up through Petaluma, take East Washington over to Bodega Bay, and then take Bodega Bay up. And that way you're on the coast the longest.
And then you get to pull over at all those beautiful vista points.
Yep. And then you enter Mendocino County right here. You drive right through Sea Ranch, and then we are the welcoming committee into Mendocino County.
You really are. And this is amazing because we are honestly sitting in a circle of redwood trees.
Yep.
And right in the middle of all this is this amazing art center. We've already toured it.
Yep. So this
love it.
is,
I love it.
we were donated and gifted 11 acres of land from Gualala Redwoods. So we're actually a forest owner. And so the community got together. They've been wanting to do this. We started Art in the Redwoods in 1961. That was at the community center. And the visionaries way back then always had a dream of having an art center dedicated to the arts. And so where we are right now is in this stone grove. It's a little nook where we actually used to serve lunches to all the volunteers that built it. About 300 volunteers built the art center. It's a 15,000 square foot visual and performing art center. And we also have a sculpture garden. So we have trails that go through the redwoods, as you can see. And as you pointed out, we're just minutes away, literally seconds away from your car. You can pull up your car and be around these wonderful redwoods.
Yeah, we were talking about that because I went to a wedding in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And it was gorgeous. It was beautiful and lots of redwoods, but we had to hike probably a half mile to 3/4 of a mile, and you're wearing your high heels or your wedges, or it was just a little bit of a trek. And here you just get right out of your car and you come here and you are sitting in the middle of these glorious redwood trees that are probably how old?
Oh, you know, back in our fairy ring we have, it's a 3 or 4 generation old fairy ring, they say, and they can live up to thousands of years.
Thousands.
So the same exact DNA lives underground, and these redwood tree shoots come up and they make these huge trees. And so it's the same exact DNA, and they said easily it's anywhere from 3 to 5,000 years old.
And you know, this is what's so amazing to me, because as sad as it is, and it's incredibly sad when you see these trees burned to the ground. They have their DNA underground, and they're going to rebuild. They won't get to be as glorious in our lifetime, but they will for our generations to come.
You bet. And I have some friends in Santa Cruz, and when they lost their forests or, got really damaged, it was so inspiring to see all these little redwood trees
Right?
coming up, and with all of this new energy.
So amongst all this energy, and by the way, cheers.
Oh, cheers. Welcome.
Hey.
Excellent. Happy to have you. As my grandfather used to say, you're only a stranger here once, now you're part of our family. So
you know, I
thank
love
you for
that.
coming.
And I love how family committed you are. We've been talking about this, and it's family first
Absolutely.
and art center second.
Yep. No, it really is. Yeah,
yeah.
and that's where Sus comes from. It's a 3rd generation nickname from my dad and my grandfather, who are with me in spirit now. So our galleries change over about once a month. And so we had to figure out in the middle of COVID, because we're a visual and performing arts center. We have about 30 different interest groups normally underneath our umbrella. So we have hundreds of artists and literally thousands of people that come visit. So everything from poetry to, we have a clay studio. We have an open studio tour this weekend coming up.
You have 3 grand pianos.
So we have
in
3
there.
grand pianos. Yep, 9-foot Yamaha concert grand, a chamber music series, a jazz series,
So you have
a
performances
theater
here
series.
when you
Absolutely.
can.
Yep.
And
Dinner
dancing.
theater. We have a commercial grade kitchen. We've got a Fopo pizza oven over there. Everything is done by groups here.
I would never imagine an art center here in Gualala
You got it. Yeah, perfect.
as grand
great.
as yours.
Oh,
I
well,
never
thank you.
would. You have really
In a
paved a
year.
path, though. You
And
really
so-
have. And you feature a lot of artists in which their pieces are available for purchase.
Yep, absolutely. And we have from the very first artist, we have a 3-year-old artist, Amethyst, that's in there. And so she did her first piece of art when we had a decorating contest for our pumpkins, and her mom were drawing. To the seasoned veteran, we have Robert Holmes' big bronze sculptures that are here, and he's all over the place. And our stained glass artist, Roy Little, is in the Louvre over,
Oh, my
in Europe.
goodness.
So we have everything from the first-time artist to the seasoned professional.
Oh, you know what you need
what's
to feature here? Have you been to the B. Bryan Animal Preserve?
Yes,
Well,
they
the
do a great
giraffes
job.
paint. Did you know that?
I do know
The
that.
giraffes,
Isn't that a
but
kick?
you need a giraffe painting, and you can auction it
is
off or just have
awesome.
somebody purchase it. Would
love
that be fabulous?
Well, you know what? That's how things happen around here, is by conversation. People are like, Sus, how do you do all this stuff around here? And I always say, I don't. We do it, and it starts with a conversation. So it started right here. I'm going to call Judy, and we'll have a little draft thing. We'll have you up. You could be our auctioneer.
I will
How about
do
that?
I will do that in a heartbeat.
We'd love to have you back.
I know with COVID times and change,
Oh, yeah.
we've all, and I hate to
Ugh.
say this word, but we've all had to pivot. What's your new motto?
So our new motto we just came up with is plan, adjust, see what the day brings. And during Art in the Redwoods, it's our 60th anniversary. I added, try and go home and get some rest after a 16-hour day. And then adjust again with an exclamation point. So here we are for our artists. So we have 3 visual art galleries open. We're open 7 days a week. Our outdoor sculpture gardens are open 7 days a week as well. So we would hope that everyone could come and visit us and come and smell some of this fresh air.
Just breathe.
Get
you can pull up the side of
inspired
the
by the
road.
redwoods.
Yeah, pull up the side of the road, come here and just breathe. You can have a picnic out here.
Yep, and like I said, we're the welcoming to Mendocino County, so there's a lot of great places north of us.
You know, I want to stay here forever. I want to get my sleeping bag and just camp out here because I
Please
am
do.
breathing. It just smells divine. It's fresh air. We have room to roam. We're talking about all the places we can go in Mendocino County, and this is one of the finest. It's the Gualala Arts Center. And can they ask for you when they come here?
You bet.
Say
My
Roberta sent you?
You please do. My full name is David Susalla. I'm the executive director of Gualala Arts, but if you call me David, I might think I'm in trouble. So tell them Sus sent you, and
I
I'll give
get
you
that.
a VIP tour, and we'll roll out the redwood carpet for you.
Cheers.
You got it. Come on over. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mendocino County, vibrant with incredible views, offering amazing outdoor activities from hiking, biking, and kayaking to wine and beer tasting, gallery hopping, and golfing. Try rail biking. For more adventures, visit animal preserves. And when it's time to take a break, relax at sidewalk cafes and restaurants. Stay longer at any lovely inn throughout the area. For a breath of fresh air and room to roam, visit Mendocino County.
I honestly enjoyed touring the art center and learning about the children's art as well. But the grounds are so fantastic. And again, you feel like you're in this isolated oasis, but then you get back on the road and you travel where?
Well, you can head north, which is where we're going to go. We're going to head up to Fort Bragg, and we're going to talk with one of our infamous radio DJs in Mendocino County, Tom Yates, who's the co-owner of KOZT, the Coast radio station. And he's just a really interesting guy, and we've got a really great partnership with their company. And so let's go talk to Tom and see what they have going on at the radio station.
Hooyah! In our continuing segment and series of Room to Roam, Mendocino County, there's so much to see, but there's also so much to listen to, so much to hear. And as soon as I start to enter Mendocino County, I try to look for the Coast FM. And who do I hear? Who do I find? But this gentleman right here, Tom Yates. Hi, Tom.
Pleasure to have you here. Thanks
Thank
for stopping
you.
by.
Thank you for having us here. How many years have you been here at the Coast?
Just over 30. Our 31st anniversary will be in February. So we're 30 and a half.
You are known not only for your great music, but also for your contribution to the community. You've won so many awards for that, not including these gems up here.
Those go back to the 70s. Yeah, that's almost another incarnation, but yes.
Yes. So tell me, why are you so committed to this community?
You know, we joke about it a lot. A lot of people are good for money. We're good for nothing. It's a terrible joke. Now it really goes back to the old days of broadcasting. before things kind of got loose and fell apart and the consolidation and all that. And there was actually a requirement to keep your license to do X amount of public service,
Yes.
news, et cetera,
Yes.
loads of it. That changed. And with it, a lot of good things went away. And it's like, we've got these airwaves here. And the community needs things, and we have the voice. It's just a matter of being committed to the community.
That's true. You brought back a memory, something I have not thought about in years. When I was 17 years old, I applied for my third-class radio license. And again, that's when you had to have a license
Yep.
to be on radio. And then I studied for my second class, which is more of an engineer license. So you have to know how to, turn on and turn off the station, right?
Right.
And one day I actually got my opportunity to be on the air, and it's because the program director and the music director had a falling out, and this was like at midnight. They're at the station at midnight fighting, right? And I'm there doing music research, and music research basically was to sit outside Tower Records and see what people were buying. And you bring that back to the music director and show them. So they put me on the air, and my job basically was to place Dr. Demento on the air. Do you remember those days of Dr. Demento?
He was here up until the end. We had him on Sunday nights.
You're kidding, live?
Live from his studio, of course.
Yeah, no, and that's when we're talking about albums. And now, what do you think about albums coming back?
Yeah, there's a good bounce back on the vinyl. We sort of learned a lesson. I was one of the first advocates of CDs. I thought they're the greatest thing in the world. I jumped on them. And now we're finding out they don't maybe last as well as vinyl does. And the real aficionados have always had a little bit of a problem with the CD, and they like the richness of the vinyl. And for whatever reason, younger people are falling into it. It's not just folks like me. It's, kids are in this too.
Am I correct to believe that in 2020, vinyl outsold CD for the first time?
It was, if not, it was a wash. It depends on which one. But yeah, the figures were quite good.
And we're not even talking about 8-track radio.
No.
I remember my radio station for Christmas gave me an 8-track little stereo to put in my Datsun 240Z, and I had the Beach Boys, and I'd play that. By the way, my name on radio was Rockin' Robbie. I was Rockin' Robbie.
I'm humbled.
On KPRI FM 106.5 in San Diego.
It's KPRI.
Yeah.
Did you work with my friend Michael Harrison?
Oh, yes, I did.
Wow. Michael and I were partners for a long time with a publication he did after he left Radio and Records.
Oh, my goodness. It was one of the strongest and best AOR stations in the country.
Yes, absolutely.
It really was. So I learned from the best.
Yeah.
I was the rookie, 17 years old, and learned from the best.
Yeah. And he's a great guy and still going strong with his talkers thing.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So see, you with all of your experience have brought that here to the coast, FM. And I know I listen for you as soon as I get into town, and I listen to you the whole time I'm in town. And I love that you tell me what I can do and where I can go. And I think that's so vitally important for people who want to come and visit not only Mendocino, but visit Mendocino County.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something, again, it goes what you said about the public service. Again, it just makes sense to be, again, it's semi-joking. In the old days, they called full-service radio. They did everything, and we joke that we're full-service, too. We just happen to play a lot of adult rock. But, yeah, letting people know where to go, how to get there. Our website has been a major help. And also, remember, you don't have to be here to listen. You can stream this computer. We have apps. Both iOS and Android.
Well, I think that's really vitally important that you mention that, because here in Mendocino County, you have such great topography here that it is so many times more advantageous to stream you as opposed to listen on the radio.
Yeah,
and it's still crisp.
Yeah, it's good. It's a major breakthrough. I mean, I remember we were early in on streaming. So far, that's been our friend. So it's. If you look in Vicky's office, she has a map of the world, the next room over. Mm-hmm. She has a wall-size map of the world with pins in it. And these are where we've gotten, emails from folks saying, I'm listening to you in Peru, Brazil, wherever.
Could you ever dream this big back in the 70s and 80s when we were doing radio?
No,
Me either.
never thought it was, a lot of us used to sit around in the 70s and think about what became digital and the convenience of that, but not the internet. No, didn't see that coming at all.
Right. So I also think that the Coast FM is so vitally important because here in Mendocino County, there's a lot of no cell service around the area. And sometimes people say it's intentional because you're supposed to come here and be able to relax and just peel off the layers. But when you don't have that cell service, you don't get those alerts if there's a fire or even, I hate to say this, but even a tsunami or, so that's what you're there for. Do you find that?
We've been through, again, we're lucky over the years. We've been able to forge really strong partnerships with all the first responders, the sheriffs, all the fire departments, all the police departments, and on and on and on. And we're really all wired in together. We have each other's phone numbers. It's normal for the phone to go off at 1 o'clock in the morning and have the sheriff on the phone saying we've got a whatever.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a vital thing because the first thing that happens when there's an emergency is the cell phones are overwhelmed. They go out.
They do go out.
You can't get through.
Remember Loma Prieta very well.
Yeah. Oh, that was,
I was there.
hideous.
Yeah, I was in San Francisco covering the earthquake at that time. And then with the Oakland fire, the same thing.
Right.
The big lesson we learned from all that is have a designated meeting place. That's what you tell your family. In case of emergency, just know where to go. And for me, as a visitor coming up to Mendocino County, I know where to go, and that's to find the Coast on the radio. Because that's how you get your emergency information. There's not a local television station to do that for you.
Not anymore.
No. Well, maybe I need to come in here and start something.
There was an ABC affiliate owned by some folks out of Eureka, and it was kind of a substation for them with some local programming, not much, but it didn't. When they sold, the local ownership went away.
And see, that's a real disservice because, for example, this morning, for the first time in 5 days, I didn't have a TV set in my room, but I got my iPad and I went to my Hulu app and I watched the news because I just wanted to see what's been going on in the world for the past few days while I've been working. And they were giving weather, and it didn't even cover this area at all, And so, again, I went to your app and was able to get my weather information.
Great, thank you.
And that's so important, again, for people who come here to camp, to come here and wine taste, to come here and enjoy your world-renowned restaurants and hotels, your B&Bs. So you're doing a great thing for all of us.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's something we take pride in it. It's something we try to be on top of, to do it correctly. If you've been in broadcasting for a couple of days.
Thank you.
What goes on in the back room? What about this? What about that? Adjust this. Like the first thing I got this morning was from Kate, and she found a very minor error on a Facebook posting, and we fixed it. That kind of a thing.
Yes.
It was nothing, but it was wrong, so you fix it.
Wow, that's important.
And the thing is, again, we're not doing this with a huge staff. We do this with 10 people.
And what I have learned by talking to people just out on the street, you're doing it for the love of the community, for the love of the people. You're not doing it for the love of the money.
No. One of the things that I came here from Los Angeles, and the first thing you do is you take a zero off the end of the paycheck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yes, you do. But do you remember in the days of San Diego, they would do that too, because they'd say, hey, you're not getting paid a lot of money, but look, you've got sunshine. You're not shoveling sunshine like if you were living in the Midwest making more money.
Exactly right. Yes.
Yeah,
and that's here we are.
So anybody coming up to roam and visit Mendocino County, what bit of advice do you have for them?
Oh, boy. Take your time.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to be exactly the way it was there, wherever there is. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of stress because of still getting the workforce back into place and so forth and so on. But if you take the time, the best thing, I try to do this myself. Other than listening to the radio, I try to disconnect for a day. Put the cell phone away. Don't look at Facebook. Don't read email. It'll be there when I get there, and that's the thing, is to just kind of leave that behind, and look around. Talk to the locals. There's so many things here, been here 30 years and I haven't seen everything yet.
Just be in the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Hug a redwood tree. You really can do that.
Yes, you can.
And take in the fresh air of the ocean and the harbor. Tom Yates, this has been such a wonderful experience. And finally getting to see you and to meet you is really a true joy and pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
Same here, Roberta. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Room to Roam. Visit Mendocino County. Travis, Tom Yates is a legend. You know that, right?
Oh, totally. He's wonderful. So appreciate our partnership with Visit Mendocino County and KOZT The Coast. They, not only are they our radio sponsors for Visit Mendocino County, but they their station is also what we call Mendocino County Radio. So it's really important. They disperse news, emergency information, if there's any weather warnings, all of that. They are great about dispersing to us because, as you know, having been here many, many times this last year, there's not a lot or a ton of connectivity for cell phones and things like that. So they are the way that we get a lot of our information here in Mendocino County, and we're just so appreciative of what they do.
People come up to Mendocino County from the Bay Area, and I hate to say up, but they come north to Mendocino County and west because we want to disconnect. But when you do need to connect, we have KOZT. And that's a great way to end the program because we know we have them on tap. Everybody has their call letters now. And Travis, it's so great to always visit with you, and I'll be with you next time so we can hug it out without me knocking you out.
Right.
Who are we visiting next month?
So next month is our season finale of the first year of podcast episodes. Hard to believe that we've done that many.
Yeah.
But we're going to go over to the coast and we're going to visit with and hang out at the Andiron Seaside Inn.
That's one of our favorites, not just
One of our
mine, but our
favorites.
photographer, Michael Hahn. And he just loves it there. It's so fun. It's like camping, but still not getting dirty.
Right. Still not getting dirty. Exactly.
And great people.
Wonderful people. So we're gonna check that out, and then we're gonna go to one of our favorite places in the village of Mendocino, Patterson's Pub, and see what that's all about and share that with you guys. And then Roberta and I are gonna kind of do a season wrap and just talk about all the cool experiences that we've had and how much fun it's been and what we look forward to in the next season of podcasts.
And we do look forward to a next season of podcasts because this season has been overwhelmingly and unexpectedly popular and crazy. We love it, right?
Yes, it's been fantastic. And I love getting out and showing Mendocino County off, but I also love enjoying it myself. So it's been great for me on both of those things. And I've really enjoyed touring with you.
And I always thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing me these wonderful places along the coast in Mendocino County, but also inland because it's such a large county. There's so much diversity and there's so much to learn about, whether you're just along the beach or you're hiking or you're camping or you're B&Bing or you're eating or, it's just wonderful. And so join us next month again on December 15th when we drop another episode of Visit Mendocino County. And Travis, good to see you. I'll see you again in just a matter of weeks.
I look forward to it. Have a great evening.
Take care, everyone.